To go live. I think we're live, yep. We're
Nice.
live on YouTube, I believe. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the latest episode of the Money Mental UK Adventures. Not to be confused with the Green Adventures. Today we have Corey from Power Reselling and Louise from KLC Reselling. Say hi.
Hi.
Hello. I hope everyone's doing well.
I think, yeah, we've got some people watching. I'm just building the chat now, so bear with me, folks.
Hi.
Hello. I hope everyone...
We've got Lisa and Bexon. Hi, both. How are you?
Jay as well.
Jay's there. Hi, Jay.
World of reselling then. How's both of your weeks been?
Sales have started to pick up.
A bit naff for me, to be fair.
I've been getting those straight Nerf gun sales. As per usual.
How many Nerf guns have you sold then, Corey?
I have sold 4 this week.
Has that been your only sales? Just Nerf?
That's literally
Nerf
it. Just,
again.
yeah, just Nerf. Nothing more, nothing less.
I've started entering the sporting equipment market. I've sold the cricket bat.
Fancy.
I wouldn't even know what to look for with that sort of stuff. No idea.
I'd have absolutely no idea either, to be honest. Also, everyone that's watching live at the moment, I'm sorry I look like a potato, as Louise described. My internet speed is about as quick as Andrew in bed. That's why I look so bad at the moment.
What? How dare you come on my channel and insult me like that, Corey Barlow? Hang on, no, wait a minute. Is it an insult? It might not be an insult. We'll let that one slide for now, Corey.
Thank you, Andrew. That means a lot.
Depends, everyone has their preferences.
Yeah, that's true. Whichever way you swing. We've me and Andrew have been having a pretty deep conversation about him maybe going to the other sex.
That was a private conversation where I was trying to win you, Corey. Not for the public attention. Corey. I've got many millions of people watching now who would be devastated by any kind of change for me.
Well, I mean, I was devastated to hear it in the first place.
I'm gonna inhale them. So yeah, everyone, come say hi if you're watching. Purpose of today is basically this is the first in what should be a series of weekly events where we will discuss the world of reselling. We'll talk about what's new, what developments there have been each week. We'll discuss a variety of a variety of different topics that have been provided by the the reselling community. Variety of comment. So we've got a few different. I'm listening to myself now. It's great. Thanks, Corey.
Sorry.
We've got a few different subjects that we'd like to cover. But as always, if there's anything that you guys would like to ask, feel free to drop a message in the chat. Come say hi. If you've not said hi already, we've got 15 people watching so far. Just pop along, say hello. I promise not to bite unless you like that kind of thing. I don't. Just saying. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Corey, how's your week in sales been? You've sold some Nerf, I believe. What else is new for you? How's the Amazon journey going?
My week in sales haven't been bad. Like I said, I've sold a couple of Nerf guns and things like that. A few bits and bobs, like I've been auctioning off a lot of stock from eBay just to get it gone. Stuff that was really slow moving, stuff that just wasn't really worth any money. That's finally starting to go out the door. Most of it just like 99p going on auctions. But yeah, it's not bad. I went out Amazon sourcing today, picked up a few nice bits. I've literally actually just edited the video for that. If you guys want to watch that when it comes out, I think Andrew left a link in the description. Not to shout out my own channel or anything like that, but
yeah. KLC Reselling is known as.
But yeah, it's not been bad. It's been an okay week. It's been okay. Sourcing today was fun. So, how about you?
I go to Louise next. I'm still typing.
All right. How about you, Louise?
Yeah, it's all right. I was sorting out my chair. Sales wise has been a bit naff. I sold 6 things over the weekend, which is a bit naff, but for what I usually do. But sort of Saturday and Sunday was just a big influx of them, sort of one after the other, and then it just went quiet. The rest of the week has literally just been 1 or 2 sort of every other day. It's just been a really slow week. But I said the other day that actually most of the sales that I've been making lately have been more high-end sales, so not just sort of £5-10 profit. It's just been a bit more profit, so it's been quite good for that. But I haven't been worrying too much about my listings or anything like that. I've been trying to sort out all my stock, and my cabinets are now empty. I've still got plenty of tat here, but that's all I've been doing at the moment, is just trying to sort all that out. So
I thought that you were going through and sorting out your garage. Do you think that's going to be like your new workstation?
Yeah, I'm doing up the garage, completely doing it up. I'm going to do a video. I might try and do a live video, something maybe tomorrow, to sort of show, because it's all sort of mostly done, and I'll sort of show how it looks. I've carpeted it all. I've got all the shelving. I'm putting up some desks tomorrow and stuff like that. So, and I've bought 27 giant boxes today from IKEA, so to put all my stock in. So even though I don't have that much stock, but I'm going to do that up and try and show the difference. So yeah,
that's quite exciting. It's so nice to see progress, isn't it?
Definitely. It's been a big job, like money wise and time wise and stuff, but yeah, it's tiring, but it's so worth it. I cannot wait to move into it.
Yeah, it does make a big difference, especially when you're in like a new environment for working. It really boosts your confidence, I guess you could say. It just makes you work a lot. Motivation, that was the word I was looking for. It really just makes you work like 10 times harder, I think. That's why a lot of people struggle when they're doing it out of their bedroom, like I am, because you're literally like living with the stock and living in your workspace, and it just becomes a bit inefficient.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Through here, I don't know if you can see really, that's my bed. So that's my bed there, and then this is literally from here to here is my eBay pit. And it's so difficult because you think, oh, I'm just gonna have a sit down or have a nap or whatever, and then yeah, it's all done. So I'm really hoping it focuses me then.
That's true. How about you then, Andrew? Whilst you're being a keyboard warrior in the chat and telling people off and giving them abuse, how's your week been in reselling?
I was being quite restrained there in the chat. You know, I've only used a couple of people. My sales started to pick up again. I've had a few good sales this week. Got rid of some sticky stock. I've sold.
What kind of sticky?
What kind of sticky stock? What not the kind of sticky stock you'd like me to have, Corey? I'm sure. Giving your undying love for me, but yeah, this is basically, folks, it's just going to be me and Corey flirting with each other. What was I going to say? Yeah, so sales started to pick up, even though I've taken a week off listing because can't be bothered. Yeah, no sourcing at the minute either, so I'm just sort of getting rid of stock and not replacing it, which is good. And then as soon as payday comes next week, I'm going buying some already useful storage boxes, and I'll be filling up the storage unit with stuff, and then I'll get back to sourcing.
Have you done any videos on the storage unit?
I did the hunt for the storage unit video.
I want to see what it looks like now. I want to see what it looks like inside.
Okay, I'll send you a clip on the Facebook.
That sounds good. Is it a mess or is it tidy?
It's tidy.
Oh,
it's not messy. It's tidy.
That's very unexpected, to be fair.
How dare you? I am a very well organised and tidy person. These rumours of me being the opposite are purely rumours from the...
who was that?
That was me.
Was it another Nerf gun?
What do I sell? Lego minifigures. Oh, yeah. Carry on, sorry.
So, yeah, that's me. Sales-wise, back up again. Making money, soon becoming a millionaire, or at least paying off my gambling debts. For those who haven't seen my gambling video, it's a powerful video that has hit and touched many people, and not in the way that I normally would. But yeah.
It was a really good video. bro. Yeah. Like that. The content and quality was just like insane, like absolutely crazy.
Professional camera crew from that one. I had to have makeup and everything. Even though they didn't recognise me.
It was really good. I think for you, especially Andrew, you know, people see you on YouTube and, you know, you're quite funny and you make everyone laugh and it's a really good sort of atmosphere. But it's quite a good eye-opener to see actually why it is that you're doing this and sort of why, you know, why it all started about. And, you know, it's just kind of a different side to you that we didn't expect, to be honest. I didn't expect it.
It's like a step into the world of Andrew, isn't it? And it's powerful. It's really
powerful.
Tell you what,
once you come into my world, mate, there's no leaving it either.
I'm going to give you both. Okay, so I'm going to give you both one chance to guess how much those Lego minifigures sold for. It was a set of 2. If you can guess it, I'll send you a £5 via PayPal.
$4.99, including shipping.
Nah, higher than that. $12.99.
You literally slap bang in between on both of you. It was $8.99.
Yeah.
So Corey, basically, you're in between the two of us.
Yeah, £2.50 each.
All right, I'll just check in the chat before we move on. Kerry Ann is grumpy. Nothing new there, really. She's always grumpy. This time it's not with me. Apparently her internet was meant to be connected today, but now she's got to wait for an engineer to come. An engineer could be quite fit, couldn't he? You never know. Brandon wants to know when the next episode of Come Thrift For Me is out, so I've told him next year.
I'm just kind of agreeing with Shiver Me Timbers Tat right here. How about showing us your flatmate again? I'd buy him.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to, believe me.
I just hope he's not watching this one.
Pardon?
Let's just hope he's not watching this one.
No, he'll be fine. It took you 5 weeks to straighten lamps, so you've straightened it. Kerry starts working back at Amazon next week. Steve wants to know if I'm going to use his chat bio for the Wrexham Dating Facebook group. I'm not. Steve, even though that has got the most likes, that would get me chucked out.
That was so good.
I need somebody sensible to come up with an idea. Shiver Me Timbers just saying how much you can't be buying it. Why not buy me? Right, I'm happily single and available, and yet I only get offers from gay men.
Let's go to those questions then. What was that question that Nick asked yesterday? It was a deep question.
He wanted to know who was best looking. Oh no, that was you.
Hi, Stu. I can't remember. I sent you a photo, didn't I? I screenshot it.
I had absolutely no idea. I forget things as soon as.
Okay, so what does the reseller community mean to you, positive and negative? Andrew, you're hosting. You go first.
Corey, you're on.
So reseller community to me, I really like it because there's a big sense of family in the reseller community, definitely, and I think it's very easy to connect with like-minded people in the reseller community, and it's powerful in that sense because you can really get to know someone without knowing them at all, like literally at all, and I think that's pretty crazy. It's such a, I don't know, I don't really know how to describe it. It's deep. And then the only negatives I can really think of the reselling community is, I'm not pointing fingers or naming names or anything like that, but when people are getting into reselling and it's their first week, their first month, and they still don't really understand it, and they ask questions that seem very simple to people who are experienced, and they get a lot of backlash for it. That's the only negative that I can think of with the entire reselling community, really. I'm really there for, I'm the type of person that's like, I'm going to help you, but I'm not going to hold your hand the entire way. If you've got a question and you're just starting out, I will answer that question for you, and I will explain to you how it's done, but I'm explaining to you to teach you. I'm not explaining to you to tell you. That's kind of the way that I see it. What about you, Andrew?
Asking me questions. What was the question? What does the reseller community mean to me?
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative. Okay. Well, it's much like a pair of batteries. in that it has both positive and negative points.
All right.
What I did there. The reseller community has been very good and kind to me quite often. I've met some new friends, some new people with it. Some of who are in this chat now. There's a lot of people that I speak to on a daily basis now that would not have otherwise met. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity. Negative wise, nobody's professed their undying love for me yet, so that's definitely a negative. That was a joke, by the way, folks. Don't.
I found it funny. I laughed. I giggled.
Don't be sending me these creepy messages. I've had a few clashes with people as well. It's the nature of my personality. I can't always always going to get. I'm a bit like Marmite. Me, you either love me or you hate me. So there is no in between really. So yeah, that's been disappointing, but it's expected part of life. And that's pretty much it for me. It annoys me when people jump on others and start arguments with them and whatever for no reason. That happens a lot sometimes. Some weeks it's fine, other weeks it's not. But again, you get that anywhere really. Thanks, Aid. I love you too. And like I said, I've met some great people with it. I've also met Corey and Louise, but you can't have it all. Cagney and Lacey, I should call the two of you.
Say that again.
Cagney and Lacey, I reckon. Actually, I'm going to call you both. Cagney and Lacey, that'll do.
I think we're too young for you, Andrew. I think.
Do you not know who Cagney and Lacey?
I've heard of them, but couldn't tell you
exactly. I really need to get some people in their 30s. Steve, you're coming on next week, mate. Forget these youngsters.
What about you then, Louise?
I think positives. It's very similar. It's hard to sort of say much more else than what you two have said, but I think it's.
Can we go with proper English here, or?
Shut up. I think the thing is with this thing, if you're doing it full time, especially, it's a lonely place. It's so hard to sit here all on your own, doing the same thing day in day out. And like I said earlier, this is my bedroom, so this is kind of all I've got to work with. So it's kind of a space where you can get really lonely. And with the reseller community, it just makes you feel, like Corey said earlier, you meet people that you didn't even realize that you would even meet and you even get along with, and they become really good friends really quickly as well. And you get on with people so well, because obviously you all have something in common. But the negatives, I think, again, it's kind of both what you two have said. It's obviously the negativity from other people, especially people who've been doing it for a long time and forget where they started. So it's the people who jump on you to say that you're doing something wrong straight away, and that's the thing that I don't like, because you have to make your own mistakes. If you don't make your own mistakes, then you're not going to learn. It's like Corey said earlier, he's going to guide you, he'll help you, but he's not going to teach you everything, because you're not going to be a copy of somebody. You've got to be your own person. There you go. That's my bit.
I think there's room for a copy of me or two. That would be nice. I've set these two a challenge today. They haven't accepted it, but they are going to accept it, because I'm not giving them the choice of finding a new reseller each to mentor, see if they can create a bond with some new resellers, because I mentor quite a few, to be fair, and it's a very rewarding experience.
There's a couple of people that I do talk to quite often, and they let me know how they do and keep me up to date and things like that, ask me questions. So there are sort of about 2 or 3 people that I talk to quite a lot really already. Yeah.
Ask them if they're single.
But yeah, same here, really, to be fair. I do the same. There are certain people that I will talk to, and I will give them guidance where I can and things like that if they're fairly new to reselling. I'll get them to send me their store link, and I'll give them I'll go quite deep into it. I'll spend about half an hour going through their store, giving them a breakdown on their photos, their descriptions, titles, like anything that they could change around to possibly bump them up the search rankings a bit. Like I will try and help where I can, but I don't really like giving people advice and guidance when I feel like I'm not in a position to be doing so, because I don't feel like I'm like an eBay genius, if you know what I mean. My advice is very like, take it with a grain of salt, because this is how I would do it, but it's not possible. It's not specifically the right way to do it, if that makes any sense. Also, slightly unrelated, did any of you see that Shazad just passed like 100,000 on his 60 days?
Yes, well done to Shazad. Congratulations. Shazad has given me advice in the past. Always happy to help out. Good lad, Shazad.
That's crazy. 100,000 in 60 days turnover.
Well, that's what we're going to do, Corey, when we form our joint enterprise.
And we have the Barlow and Nolan towers.
Yeah, docking right out across each other on Canary Wharf with a bridge between the two.
You'll get mixed up with Gary Barlow and the Nolan sisters, I think.
Right, so we catch up on the chat because I've seen a few questions flying in, but I haven't had a chance to read them. There is Andrew's flatmate is lost in the tap. The search and rescue teams are hopefully will find him soon. He's never coming on YouTube again. You can't have somebody who takes the attention away from me. It's not fair. Self-esteem's low enough. Jesus Christ. Where was I? People are showing sympathy for Kerry. Don't do that. Nobody has sympathy for Kerry. Brandon's got a question for KFC.
Yeah, Andrew, when's the next episode of Come Thrift with me? Because it's not quite clear enough.
2020. Yes, Lad Media has asked, how did Castlevania pan out? I'm saving that because I'm travelling down to where am I going, Corey? I'm going to where Corey lives for a few days to visit in August time. So I'm holding off on listing Castlevania until closer to that time so that I can use that money to pay for my trip. Lisa is saying how much she fancies me. So thanks for that, Lisa. Stu is saying the same. Thanks, Stu. I may be making this up. Bex has asked the question. Hi, Bex. Bex is a lovely lady. She's got a YouTube channel as well, I discovered the other day. Do click the 3 dots next to Bexify his name. Give her a subscribe. Why not? Bex says, question for all 3 of you. When did you know to open an eBay store and how easy did you find setting it all up?
I don't really remember doing it. I know that I have an eBay store, but I don't remember changing
I know that I have an eBay store. It's not a secret to you then, is it, Corey? No.
I can't answer that question. I've got no idea. I really can't remember, to be honest. It feels like so long ago.
When I did it, Bex, it was the summer of 2018. The sun was shining. The sky was blue and beautiful. Sheep were frolicking in the fields or whatever they do. And I thought, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to smash the back doors out of eBay. Can I say that on YouTube? Is that an expression?
I'd use a different term if I were you.
I'm going to become an eBay success story.
There we go.
Yeah. So I was very quick to open an eBay store because I knew that eBay was going to be my thing. Whatever I pick to do, this sounds arrogant. I don't mean it to sound arrogant. Whatever I choose to do or go for, I will work at until I get it. So I knew I was going to do well with eBay because I knew that I would keep working at it until I did. So it was always part of the plan to open up an eBay store quite quickly. And I think I did that probably after my first or second listing. Easy setting up. I was just clicking a couple of buttons. That was it. Dead easy to sort out. I probably need to get my branding consultant, who's also on this call, to have a look at the logo and stuff for it, if she doesn't mind helping with that. But that was almost me being humble and not demanding then. Like a new man. I had therapy today. That's it. But yeah. So hopefully, Bex, that's answered your question. Steve's warning me to be careful.
What about Louise? Louise didn't get to answer.
I was going to be fair, I was agreeing with what Andrew said. It was exactly the same thing for me. It was I've just put a link in the group, in the chat, about I was talking to another reseller the other day. She was asking me about stores and stuff, and it gives you a really good breakdown of which shop is best. So you got your basic, you got your featured, and then you got the anchor one. Tells you sort of how many listings you get, etc. But doesn't do it in like a rubbish little table thing to say you will pay this much, you will get this much. You know, it sort of explains, sort of saying you don't need this until you've got to this point, and it kind of really outlines it quite well. So that's kind of all of my sort of word for that. So have a look at that link that I've popped in the chat. It's from eBay themselves. It's quite a good read to figure out if you don't know which store you're going to go for.
Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah, sorry, I thought Louise had gone first on that one. I'm on top of things here. Right, just go back to the chat because we're missing quite a bit here.
Brandon's got a good question.
I think I want to put Brandon in a timeout in a minute.
Yeah, don't annoy Louise, Brandon. She's a very angry lady.
She turns into an ogre.
She turns into a bit of a Shrek, a bit of a troll.
Oh, did you just say that she turns into Shrek when I said ogre? Did you just admit that Shrek and ogre live again twice? No,
we know full well.
Get a tally chart up here somewhere.
We know full well that Shrek is a troll, right? This has been confirmed. George Ross went on his live stream earlier, and he was googling images of Shrek, and clearly he came up when the trolls appeared. So even Google is on my side. If people think I can't lie, there's the proof. Can people leave Andrew alone? His cleaner is in holiday 2016. She went quite right, Ian. Lisa wants to know if my flatmate's in. Lisa, look, with me, you've got the intelligence, you've got the charm, you've got the sophistication. I'm cultured. I've been to see musicals. I even thought the recent release of Aladdin, the film, was a musical in the theatre. That's how good I am. Brandon's got a question for Corey. He wants to know, Corey, can you ask Andrew when the next episode of Come Thrift With Me is?
2020. See,
Corey already knows the answer. Stu says hello. Kerry's moaning a bit more.
I think your
Shiver Me Timbers chat is saying that he or she loves me. Are you male or female, Shiver Me Timbers? I'm hoping you're like an attractive supermodel. That'd be ace. Steve's calling me a dictator. Stu Manji wants to know if you guys know about Starsky and Hutch or Miami Vice. Not the remade films, the original TV series.
I'm aware.
I've heard both of the names. No idea what either of them are.
Starsky and Hutch, I know a bit more. I've seen a few episodes of that, just kind of on the telly.
You've watched the TV series?
I watched several TV series.
I can probably name on the fingers of one hand the number of TV series you've watched.
Probably
sorry. So yeah, there's your answer, Stu. Andrew's website and videos have kept me reselling in a very lonely business. Louise and Corey were just a bonus. Oh, thanks, Ian. Yeah, I agree, really.
I'll take that. It's a bit of a backhanded compliment.
Apparently, Lisa Dingles died. I don't know who they are. Did you mean Bonnie and Clyde? Possibly. Shiver Me Timbers chat loves me. Onions are a crime against humanity. Steve's got a question for me. Is there ever a time I'm not on the pull?
What about when you're asleep?
No, because then I dream about it. I'm just a very confident, charismatic man, Steve. What can I say? You know, just some things come naturally to some people. One day, Steve, you'll be like me. Don't worry. Shiver Me Timbers is like a dog on. I think it's talking about me. No aid. We're not doing another listing challenge. Bex has just given me some kisses.
Steve Green asks, how old are Louise and Corey? I think people should try and guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Try and guess in the chat. How old do you think me and Louise are? We're not. I don't
how
think
old do you think I am? We can ask how old I am as well.
You said earlier. in the chat. 24.
You think I'm 24?
Somebody said 12, but I don't know who's 12. Probably Corey. He looks about 12.
I've got bum fluff.
Even in your little logo, I've noticed only today that you got a little bit of stubble.
One day, Corey, you'll grow a real beard like me and Steve have got.
Do you know what happened the other day? 2 days ago, I went into the shop to buy an energy drink as per usual, and I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get a scratch card. I haven't bought a scratch card in years. I got ID'd, but you have to be 14 to buy a scratch card, and I got ID'd for it. You have to be 14, and I got ID'd.
I thought it was 16 for a scratch card.
It might be 16. Still, 16, and I got ID'd. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it.
I got ID'd yesterday, I think. It was for some carpet tile glue, which is fair enough, you know, but I haven't been ID'd in for so long. So many times I've gone into a pub and I've kind of went, yeah, I'll have whatever. And then they're like, yeah, okay, no worries. And I'm like, do you want to see my ID? Please, please look at it.
I always feel so like manly when I don't get ID'd. I'm like, yeah, that's right, I look 18. Steve Green says 27 for Louise and 24 for Corey. And Ian says 20 for Corey 20, Louise 23. Chris says 25 for Louise, 24 for Corey, and Andrew 36. I don't actually know how old.
36, how dare you? 36 indeed. The cheek of it. That's unbelievable. I am 34. Corey's 20, and Louise is 25.
So no one got it right.
I just got it right.
Well, Ian got Corey's right, and Chris got my one right.
I'm pretty happy that people think.
So basically, Corey, everyone thinks you're old.
I've got a mature personality. That's what it is.
Brandon's got a question for you both. He wants you both to ask me when the next episode of Come Frith for Me is out.
You are literally massively behind on this chat, Andrew. Massively.
Steve wants me to penetrate eBay. Dex is going to start some reselling videos soon. They'll probably be awful. Don't worry about that. Have you seen my videos? Good Lord. Basically, if it wasn't for my massively successful personality, there would be no Monumental YouTube channel because nobody would want to watch it. You're both supposed to agree here.
I agree. Yep.
I was reading Cat Doctor. I was reading Ian's question.
Yeah, I was reading the chat, so I didn't.
What turns your hair blue? My hair's not blue. It's blonde-ish. And I tried to ask for grey or silver, but it didn't work. But yes, blue. It's not blue. It might be the light coming through the window or something. I don't know. It's not blue.
Chris wants to know if there's any more cooking with Andrew. Fear not, there will be. I might do one on Friday when I'm at Mother's house sitting for the weekend. By the way, folks, if anyone wants to keep me company at Mother's this weekend, hit me up.
Steve said I was born in 1985. Not sure about the number. Geez, Steve, you're almost dead.
Sorry, I was born in 1984.
That's well old, that is, Steve.
It's not old. That's younger than me.
Were phones around then?
She was older than Corey.
Kerry wants to retract a nice statement about me now. It's fine, it's retracted. Tat Doctor wants to know if the carpet glue turned your hair.
Yeah, you are massively.
I like that you have to be 18 to be allowed to buy glue, as in, like, you have to be 18 if you want to go out and sniff the glue that you're buying to get high. You have to be 18 to do that. Any younger, it's not allowed.
I'm 34. I was born in 1984. Aid, you haven't. Well, Aid, I agree with you. You have kept your looks. Yeah, it's just unfortunate you didn't have any in the first place. I used to date an older woman, shiver me timbers, and yeah, good God, yeah, she ruined me. Not in a good way.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica. How are you? I've just had your message. I've not had a chance to reply to it yet. By the way, folks, Wrexham, you're guessing you're 33. I know how old you are, Steve. You're 33. By the way, folks, Wrexham Resellers Meetup, 15th of June in Wrexham, or at 3 p.m. Wetherspoons. I'll be there. Well, probably just me, actually, to be fair. Anyway, yeah, so we did have a topic that we need to go back to now because I've caught up with the chat.
I definitely want to ask the chat that question as well.
What question?
What the question is that we've been asked and we've been answering. Just ask about what the reseller community means to you. So sort of like what positives and negatives, have you found since you started reselling with the community? If that makes sense.
No.
Just want to see what other people's opinions are, because ours are kind of very similar. But I want to know if anyone else has any other experiences.
Do you know why me and Louise get on so well? It's because you can waffle as much as me.
That's just rude. I'm used to just filling out a whole hour.
It's weird. I find going live with other people so strange because you get so used to just talking to the camera for the entire time, and then it's almost like taking your foot off the brake a bit when you're live because you can be like, I don't have to speak for this entire thing.
I get distracted by the chat and then realise I'm supposed to be listening to what you two are saying as well. So I kind of drift off. I'm going, I don't know what you've just said. Okay.
But yeah, what were some more of the questions, Andrew?
Oh, yeah, okay. Stu's 46 still got us. Right, I want to address this, right? Because George Ross said on his live the other day, on his Facebook live, that my hair is thinning. It is not thinning. It is as thick as it has been since the day I was, well, since I grew hair. This is just how it's always been. And there's no grey either. I've gone onto a wrong chat there, and it's not the one I wanted to go on. It's an emotional one. Give me a minute, guys. Distract.
Aid says positives giving Andrew abuse, negatives when he chucks his dummy like he's a diva.
I did do that the other day. I did on Saturday night. I did lose your temper.
So Jessica says, love the reseller community because we all work together and we can all share advice. Like most days, I go to group and ask advice, which is great. That is very true. I think the thing is as well, there's all sorts of groups. You've obviously got the main chat. You've got Andrew's group and you've got Corey's group as well. And there's so many people on there who are just really, really helpful. So whoever you go to, you know, they are really helpful.
I'm also really active with kicking people out of my group, which sounds weird. It sounds like a weird thing to be active in. But if I see anybody who's being negative or condescending to anyone, especially beginners who are, like I said earlier, who are just trying to learn and they just need a little bit of advice, I will just kick those people out of the group straight away because I really want it to be a positive environment for people to thrive and not feel like they have to worry about asking stupid questions. So yeah, there's definitely like so many places where you can kind of meet people, really connect with them. It's nice. It is really nice. Definitely.
I mean, when I started reselling, I didn't even realize that you could check the solds on things. People going, oh yeah, I checked the solds on this. And I'm like, I don't know what you mean by that. And then realized, so the people that are posting in the groups and stuff saying, any idea how much I'll get for this? And people are being quite arsy and sort of saying, just check the solds and it's cut. But some people just don't know that when they start up. They just literally they've bought something, they want to sell it. How do I start? You know, so people just need to kind of take a breather and, like I said earlier, remember where they come from.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said something I wanted to reply to there. You always pick a set of these two kids' channels any good? Yeah, I'd give them a subscribe.
All right. Make videos here and there.
Yeah. Mostly me getting picked on by everyone else. So.
Like who? Who picks on you?
90% of the people that are currently in the chat.
I never pick on you.
Lisa says, it's been positive. I'm quite new to reselling and the community have learned a lot and got to know a few people. Haven't had a negative experience yet. That's really, really good. And the thing is maybe there might have been a negative thing that's happened, but the fact that because they are kind of all around and it's really, really difficult to kind of really get submerged into it as well. So yeah, it's been really, really good that you've not had anything like that yet.
Listen, on these negatives, right? I'm one of the community leaders, as we know. I've been on the chat and whatever else. I don't think when I've been on Corey's group, he needs to adjust that. run my own community and whatever, but I still get, you know, people being arsy with me or whatever else, you know, giving me abuse or just being horrible to me, you know. You just learn to ignore those people and focus instead on the many hundreds of genuinely decent people out there.
I do agree. Also, really want to put this out there. Whilst we're live, I mean, I'm not forcing anyone to do this, but everyone who's watching live, I really want you to share Andrew's channel around and see if we can get him to hit 500 subscribers whilst we're live right now.
No.
That'd be
amazing.
crazy. If we could hit 500 subscribers on Andrew's channel whilst we are live right now.
You know what happens if I hit 500 subscribers and I'm not wearing the right t-shirt for it?
What happens? I don't even know. What does happen?
I have to say that you most hated words about Shrek.
Yes, to actually admit, and we are all going to be recording it, that Shrek is a troll.
There we go.
Yeah, right. Shrek is a troll. Thank you. We've got that live on YouTube. There we go. Yeah. I knew you would crack eventually.
No, Shrek is not a troll.
There you hear that, Kerry Ann?
Definitely no. It's because you've been saying it in my ear for so long. You're getting me confused.
Yes, Shrek is a troll. We heard it there, folks. That's one for the highlight video.
No.
I'm going to edit that and I'm going to make a meme out of it. I'm going to send it around the entire reselling.
I wouldn't have a clue how to do that, Andrew.
You're going to change every single thumbnail, every single video thumbnail on your channel to the meme. To that meme.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it's that. I do not mean that at all.
All right, let me catch up with the chat. Steve's had a hard life. To be honest, I thought Steve was 50 until he told me how old he was. Wrexham Resellers meeting in Wrexham, whose idea was that? That was me.
I'm looking at random questions online, and one of them is, what's your biggest screw up in the kitchen? I really want you to answer that, Andrew.
Well, for me?
Yeah.
My biggest screw up in the kitchen was filming it live on YouTube. The amount of I've had people like, I don't know who they are, random people now find me on Facebook and send me messages offering me culinary tips. I know how to cook, folks. There's a reason I don't show the cooking on the actual thing. It's because I do cook it properly. It's a parody. Chill out.
Parody.
Anyone would be safe eating my food.
Apart from when you get my hot sauce that I'm sending you.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Jessica was saying she loves the reseller community because we all work together and we can all share advice. Like most days, she goes to the group and asks advice. Jessica is my local Wrexham reselling rival. So, yeah. Hi, Jessica. Ian still what?
I was going to say, Bexify said, I love how one person's who's live you watch connects you together to other resellers. That's how I kind of started really finding people, noting people.
Yeah, Louise, she joined one of my chats and that was it. From then onwards, you know, the world opened up for her.
Weren't there two people that are in a relationship that met on the chat? Is that right?
Phoebe and Darren. That's
crazy. Like, that shows how deep the community is.
That could be me and you, Corey, one day.
It will be, you mean? There is no could about it.
All right, let's catch up on the
chat. He has a question for you, Andrew, but it's up to you whether you fancy answering that one. You might want to private message you a particular answer to that one.
What was the question?
I'm not going to read it out. I'll let you read it.
Oh, God damn it. I'm like 3/4 of the way up the chat here. Positive community, negative people need to chill out. Quite right. I agree with Steve. Steve knows what it's like. The messages like me and him get on a quite regular basis from people. It's just ridiculous sometimes. Jessica says she's not a full-time reseller. She runs a recruitment business, but also wants to go into professional selling, but she needs some advice of things. You know what I'm, Jessica? Is there any help I can give you? Always go for a coffee or something. Whatever, have a chat. I don't mind that. Can we recommend some more groups? She's just in the chat currently, but it's so nice going to a car boot and trying to share your own pickups. There is Celtic Traders on Facebook. So you search for Celtic Traders. There are South Wales rivals, Jessica, Catherine, and what's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Is it even Catherine? Whatever, you'll find them. There is Profit from Pounds, which is Corey's group. There is the UK Reselling group. There's also the Money Mental Support group, which is my group, which is obviously the best Facebook group out there. So yeah, there's a few. Do
you want another good question from this website for both of you? What quote or saying do people spout that is complete BS, in your opinion?
Oh, whenever I was talking about this in therapy today, really annoys me when somebody says there's someone out there for everyone or whatever, or what's the other thing that people say really annoys me? It'll happen when you least expect it or whatever. I hate that. It's just, if that was true, there wouldn't be online dating sites. There wouldn't be any of that, would there? Because there
wasn't so many years ago, was there?
Yeah, but there were still dating meetups and whatever. You've got to put yourself out there to achieve something, is my philosophy.
For me, it's everything happens for a reason.
I believe.
Oh, see, I love that. That is my quote. So we're going to argue here now.
See, I don't believe in it. I don't agree with it. I just think things happen.
Chaos and carnage, Corey. Chaos and carnage.
Exactly. Life just goes forwards.
Everything happened for a reason. I was very bad in the previous life.
I don't know. I think the thing with everything happens for a reason. The way I view it, anyway, is it's to do with more for me personally, like regret and things like that. So it's kind of like if, say, on a small scale, you think, oh, I regret waking up at midday. I should have woken up at 9 a.m. or whatever. Then I feel like everything happens for a reason. Don't regret doing that because you would have been really tired in the morning. I don't know. It's something like that. I just feel like that it depends on how you look at it. That's how I look at it. With everything happens for a reason, as if it's to do with like don't regret anything. That's my bit.
So I think my opinion with that quote is, I think the reason why people see that everything happens for a reason, it makes sense, and it's because our brain looks for patterns in specific things. Mm-hmm. And normally, whenever there's a change and there's progress and there's something good that happens, it's usually inspired and brought on by something that was a turning point or like a negative. If something negative has happened, it creates usually for positivity, and that is just like the cycle of life basically. And I think that is why people, I understand where the term comes from when you look at it in that way, if that makes any sense, but I don't think it happens for a reason. I think it's your brain taking the situation and making something better out of it, if that makes any sense.
Each their own, Corey, each their own.
It's about perspective though, isn't it? It's about maintaining a positive mental attitude. So, sometimes having that thinking, that mindset that Louise describes there is a good thing because it gives you that boost, that positive mental attitude. So it's not necessarily about believing the words or whatever, but it's about how it makes you feel. I think I might have paraphrased there what Louise is saying, but
it's kind of it. It's kind of more, rather than sort of wallowing and thinking I've done something wrong, I should never have done that, and hating yourself for doing it. It's kind of more of a, well, maybe actually if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be like the person I am now, or whatever it might be. So that's kind of more to do with it. I don't believe in it so much with like everything. I don't believe that, oh, if I hadn't picked this up, then I wouldn't have been able to show you what it looks like, or something like that. I don't believe like everything, but it's kind of like the general sort of gist of things about, like I said, not regretting things or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I think we agree with the same thing, just in different ways. I think that's probably the best way to put it.
We agree to disagree.
Exactly.
Right, that is another phrase I hate as well, because I will carry on an argument until everyone's agreed.
I'm just gonna go. I'm going.
Gonna go make another cup of tea.
No, I am empty. I'm out.
Right, yeah. I've got some questions in the chat here. Jessica, my new Facebook friend, Jessica, I've accepted you. Thank you. Has asked a question, which I've missed. If I lived near Andrew, I'd move too. Thanks, Aid. You don't live that far away from me, you know. I even know what street you live in now because you said that to me the other days. Original Wrexham. I've recently moved to Doncaster, so on the market. You know, in Wrexham anymore, Jessica. Cooks with hammers like every normal person. Hang on. I'm well behind on the chat. Let's go. Sharing Andrew's channel. I've been giving out Andrew's phone number for 6 months. Nobody's giving it to me. Jessica wants to know who you two are.
I'm Corey. I put it in the chat. I did say.
Did you? How can you two be keeping up with this chat ahead of me?
You're probably on the top chat, on the top one, not on the live.
To answer your question, Steve, about the unmentionable pictures, yes, I do get quite a few. And my response to them is always the same. Mine's bigger. True fact. Right. And on that conversation stopper, has anyone messaged you on Facebook about the onion? Yes, several people have. I've had abuse for that as well.
That was such a good stream.
I am still on a sourcing ban, yeah. Jessica has a question. What do you feel is the best items that resell? Let's go with Louise because she sells lots. This will tie into our diversified inventory question. Louise has a massively diversified inventory.
Yeah, clothes. That's all I sell. I say that as I've got other things in the background. One thing I'm really getting into at the moment is hats. But yeah, mostly, I don't know if you can see this pile of tat. The rest of it's in the garage now, but this is my tat pile that hasn't gone to the garage yet. It's just clothes. That's all I sell. But the odd pickup of like teddies and toys and stuff and hats and random stuff. But yeah, mostly the reason I sell clothes is because it's easy to store. That's the main thing. And I kind of know what I'm looking at. But yeah, that's it. Clothes for me.
Lisa is agreeing with me about how hated these expressions around dating are. Fully agreed. It's the worst thing you can say to somebody who's single, and it's always people who aren't single that say it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Always. I just want to smash you in the face because I'm an angry man.
Like plenty more fish in the sea. If you ever
yeah, hate it. My right to be miserable. Corey.
Andrew.
It's your turn to answer Jessica's question.
Oh.
Well.
So I sell quite a wide variety of things. If I can make money on it, I'll basically buy it and sell it. But I don't know. There's specific niches, I guess, that things will sell a bit faster in. Like plush is a good one. A lot of plush stuff sells pretty quick. Specific toys and games like Lego, Playmobil, Sylvanian families, Nerf guns, and stuff like that. They always have quite a high sell-through rate. I also run a vape eBay account, like a wholesale vape eBay account, and stuff absolutely flies out of there. We do about £200 a day, and I think we've got about 600 or 700 listings. And it's just ideal, really. Like if you could have an eBay store with 600 listings and do £200 a day, it's quite a nice way to run it. You need to get approved for things like that. You need to have wholesalers, though. But in terms of thrifting, toys, games, clothes.
Another expression I hate.
What?
Thrifting. It's Americanism. You've been talking to Jay for far too long.
I never know how else to put it. Thrifting. Sourcing. That's true.
Sourcing.
But just don't spell it like Josh does.
Yeah.
I love that. I literally love that so much.
Well, I saw one of his stories, right? There was a lady on it. Is that his partner? Because she was stunning.
It wasn't his partner, no. He doesn't have a partner.
All right, okay.
There's one for you, Andrew, if you're in the market, if you're interested.
He's got a kid, though, isn't he?
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
Can you imagine me as a father? Right, let's go on. Kerry's still trying to pimp me out on eBay. Steve reckons me and Age just kiss and get over it, get over and done with. But Age says no, I'm too high maintenance. Here's a question for you both: am I high maintenance?
Silence. Silence speaks wonders. I would think you're that high maintenance. Do you know what I think you should try though? You should make a eBay listing and try and do it like a dating thing. I think that would be so funny to see if someone could actually do that.
Just don't do it on your business account in case you get banned.
Like basically make like a Tinder profile, but on an eBay listing. Put on like your phone number and stuff like that.
You can't progress until you've answered the question, Sheldrake.
What was that? What was the question? I forgot.
Is Andy high maintenance or is Aid wrong?
Are you high maintenance?
Yeah.
Depends what mood you're in. To be fair, some days you're like massively high maintenance. Other days it's kind of just like, oh hello, I forgot to even speak to you. Just depends on what mood you're in.
I do forget people exist. Jessica again, do you know where I can buy a backdrop from? As I mentioned, I sell just. Why don't you show your backdrop off, Louise? Because that's near you, isn't it?
Just tat in the way.
Move it.
Huh?
Move it.
If I move it, it will fall.
No, that's why I want you to move it.
It will fall. I really don't know if you can see it. I literally just use a fleece blanket. I bought it from TK Maxx for like 15 quid. It's literally just a fleece blanket, but because my walls are green, not intentionally, you can see through a bed sheet or something like that. So I use a really thick fleece blanket. So yeah, that's what I use.
I use the same background as Steve Green's got. So if Steve's still watching, he might want to share the details of that. But yeah, I use the same thing that Steve's got basically, which is one that you can fold up and put away at the end of the day. But currently I'm using my bed bin.
I don't really use a backdrop, to be honest. I built like a little photo booth station thing, and then it fell to pieces after a couple of months because I built it. So that was why it fell to pieces. So yeah, I just use whatever. Like sometimes I will just use bed sheets because I think it just makes, I don't know, makes life easier. I do need to make a new photo area though, definitely.
Just buy a plain white blackout blind. Yeah, no, Amy uses that. What phone is best for eBay? I just use me Samsung S7.
Yeah, I just use my phone.
Android caveman.
Don't start. You're kicked out. You're putting
Aid says, told you. Right, no. Corey said I'm not. Louise said, depends on my mood. So that's got to be a not.
That makes you like 25%, I'd say. That's what that is.
About average, really, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So one of the questions we were going to address is it better to specialize and have a particular niche or to diversify? I sell anything I can lay my hands on. How about you, Corey?
My opinion with it, I think when you're first getting started in reselling, you don't want to be bogged down to a niche. You really want to buy and sell anything that will make you money to really kind of broaden your spectrum. It will help you find what you enjoy reselling, and at the same time, it will help you earn a decent amount of money. But I think as you progress and you want to turn it into an actual business, that's when you want to start focusing more on a niche more than anything, because people don't really know it without running an account like that, but people will intentionally follow your store to keep coming back and making return purchases. I've seen this so many times on the vape store. It's coming up to about 150 followers, I think, and we have so many return customers. So I think if you're just starting out, buy anything, sell anything, don't get stuck in a niche. As you progress and you really want to start building it into a business that's scalable, you want to be able to have knowledge in that niche and things like that, that's when you can then start taking it into a niche, and it makes inventory sorting a lot easier as well. What about you, Louise?
Yeah, I agree. I was going to say the same thing. Personally, because I started selling my own clothes and things like that, I've kind of really only stuck with clothes, but I do watch other YouTubers, several different YouTubers who go to car boots and stuff. I don't really go to car boots. I know I should, but because you pick up a lot more other miscellaneous bits at car boots and stuff. So I do have a look at that sort of stuff. But I feel like when you've got a niche and when you finally sort of figured out what it is that you want to do, it allows you to kind of, if you keep within the same sort of thing, it allows you to do like more research into stuff. You're not trying to remember a million different things. So for example, with clothing, I kind of know what brands to look out for, what kind of materials sell, all that sort of stuff. So you can kind of figure that out rather than trying to remember and trying to think, oh, have I got to remember this particular item or, whatever. So it's and it also depends on your storage as well. Like, again, my storage is very limited at the moment, and I can only sell small items.
Yeah, that was your answer. That's the answer for you.
My answer is diversify. The reason I say that is because if you've got a particular niche, there are some niches that will do all year round, but others you will have peaks and troughs in. If you've got a diversified inventory, you won't be so subject to peaks and troughs.
I also think it's really individualistic as well. Like it's
what? Did you use a big word then?
Individualistic.
Can you say it properly? Say it again.
Let me just Google that one. Let me see if it's even real.
Individualistic is real. The reason why I think it's like that is because nobody can tell you either. If you want to sell everything, sell everything. If you want to sell in a niche, sell in a niche. It's your business. You run it the way that you want to.
I think the thing is, even within each niche, there are still things that you can diversify within. So for example, clothing, I can do just dresses, I can do men's clothing, I can do coats, I can do bags, hats, all that sort of stuff. So there's still a lot of stuff that I can diversify within. I even sold a coat. I sold a coat today, and I sold a coat a couple of days ago. It's like 20 degrees out there, but people are still buying coats. So it's kind of just kind of list whatever you feel like listing, and then you'll kind of figure it out from there, I think.
Do what you enjoy. If it makes you happy, do it. That's the way that I see it.
Good.
Yeah, but then people complain when you do that. They invoke laws and such like.
What are you talking about here? What area of your life?
Never mind. I'll lose subscribers again.
Jessica says, Corey, I have a question for you as I feel you could help me on this. Marvel chess set, how much do you think it's worth? Join my Facebook group, Jessica, send me a message and I'll have a look because I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. No idea.
Lisa says she's just sold clothes at the moment, but picked up some other random bits of the car boot last weekend. That's exactly what I do. As I literally mainly buy clothes, and then I literally just pick up the odd random item, just to sort of keep my fingers in all the pies. Is that another really bad quote? I don't know. But yeah, I just kind of like to sell little bits and bobs. I picked up a Scrabble board the other day. I picked up a Monopoly the other week, just because I've kind of looked and want to see how well it does. So I agree.
I'm trying to find some more interesting questions online.
Well, Jessica's got another question, I think. She said, sorry, guys, if I'm asking loads, just tell me to shut up. And as for storage, I have bought a 100 square lockup, so I'm sorry for it. You're not asking too many questions.
Not a question.
Absolutely fine.
That wasn't a question.
I mean, it wasn't a question.
No.
It was more of a statement. But yeah, so Andrew, I know you've got a storage unit. Corey, do you have a storage unit or anything like that, or have you just got
a massage parlour?
Huh?
You got your massage parlour going on now, Corey?
I have. I've been looking at one. I think, did I send you a video of it, Louise? I don't know if I did or not.
Oh, you did? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Really nice, really, really nice unit, and you can use it as a commercial unit too, and it's only £300 a month in rent, but there's a lot of interest, and I've got a feeling someone's going to offer more to secure getting it, which does suck, and I don't want to pay any more than 300 for it. I mean, it's worth like probably 500-600 a month, but I don't want to pay that much.
Is it something that you definitely need though, Corey, or is it something that you kind of could just expand into if you feel like it?
Yeah, more. Just because of how cheap it is, I feel like if it was like a 6-month lease on it, I would just get in and see what I could do. I'd just have fun. Like, I'd make a little YouTube studio in there. It's big enough to cut in half, and I was thinking I could have half as a physical store, and then the other half online, and then the online would justify the rent plus profit, and whatever sold in store was just a bonus. But yeah, I don't know. It's a very early stage idea, so it might not happen. I'm not sure.
Because you're moving into Amazon a lot more than eBay, would you need that space? Because I would have thought a lot of the stuff you kind of just buy back in a box, send it off to eBay.
Yeah. So,
and then that'd be really good if you whack it in a box and send it to eBay when you're selling on Amazon.
Yeah, it would be nice, wouldn't it? I don't think
I have had very little sleep. Very little sleep. I've been up since 6 o'clock this morning. Bear with me.
But yeah, if I did get that space, I'd open a new eBay account and I would list whatever I'm selling in the shop through that, because I know a few good toy wholesalers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably just make a wholesale toy account. But yeah, I don't know. It's early stages. Haven't really thought too much into it. So. Jessica says, is Amazon good? What other platforms are you good to sell on? Honestly, I just started on eBay. eBay was where I first started. I think it's where a lot of people start. I tried a bit on Depop. I tried a bit on Schwab. Didn't really get on with either of them. And now I'm slowly transitioning to Amazon. But I would say learn eBay, learn reselling as much as you can whilst you're on eBay, and then start moving to Amazon. It's a little bit more confusing.
I only sell on eBay. I'm going to get my platforms mixed up now. I tried to sell a couple of things on Depop. I know George Ross sells plenty on Depop, and he does quite well with it. But I just, my massive worry is that I'm going to end up listing something on Depop, listing something on eBay, and then forget that it's on one of the platforms, and I sell it and I haven't taken it off and all that sort of stuff. I asked George the same question, does he forget? And he says it's just become a natural thing to take it off now. But I just have this worry that I'd forget, to be fair. So I've kind of steered away from it. But when I've got my new unit and I've settled into that and I've got a bit more space and things, I might end up venturing out onto other ones. Like, I think you got Depop, Vintage, I think you got Poshmark. I don't know if that's American only. I'm not sure. But
we did have Poshmark, and now it's gone again. I think it's gone back to
the US. Are expanding back into Europe again. I think they've started either this year or next, but yeah, they're going to come back again in the future. So they're gone, but they're definitely coming back.
What are you doing, Andrew?
Forgot he was even there, to be fair.
In a world of his own. I had that exact same problem though. When I was selling on Depop and eBay, I sold something on Depop, forgot to take it off eBay, and then
Andrew, I'm right here.
And there's nothing you can really do apart from refund the customer. But the best way to go about it, if you don't want it to damage your account too much, is to mark it as seller asked to cancel order. You shouldn't, because it's not what happened. You should put it as the item was damaged or out of stock. But if you do that, it affects your transaction defect rate. And the higher that goes, you risk your account being shut down. You risk being ranked lower in the search rankings, so like SEO and stuff like that. So if that does happen, the best thing to do is mark it as buy asked to cancel order. But you shouldn't do that. Don't do that.
You should do, but don't do it.
Yeah.
What else have we got?
There is a Facebook group already set up for resellers to sell to each other, Jessica. Can't remember the name of it, but there is one already set up.
Question. Corey, do get fed up people asking wholesale contact? What does that mean?
I think he's trying to say, like, to people, do you get fed up when people ask you for contact details for wholesalers, I'm going to assume?
Not really, to be honest. So I will point you in the direction of certain wholesalers if people ask me for specific categories. Like vape, for example, I would point you in the direction of a few good vape wholesalers. But when it comes to wholesalers that I'm using or that I'm looking into at the moment for Amazon and stuff like that, I wouldn't tell anyone, because all that would be doing is inviting more competition onto the Amazon listings.
So you're shooting yourself in the foot massively.
Yeah, exactly. All I'd be doing is losing money, and it would slow down both of our sales if I pointed someone to one of those kind of wholesalers. So they're not hard to find, honestly. They're really not. Just spend a few hours on Google looking up wholesalers, and I'm sure you'll find some. Like, it's not as difficult as people think it is.
There you go. Good advice there. Thank you, Corey.
Oh, Andrew, hello.
What?
Me and Corey having a conversation. You're just in your own world, so I thought you were here, to be honest.
Is she being sarcastic now? Because you know I can't read sarcasm, right?
I feel like I need a sarcasm card. I just pop up
card dealing with me.
All right, question for both of you then. What is your favorite? What's your best and worst flip? It doesn't have to be profit-wise, just your favorite and worst purchase to sale.
My one is both.
I'll go first, shall I?
Worst, no. If I don't know if some of you remember a haul that I did a little while ago. I had this like giant sort of what is it, like a outfit, a Jacques Vert outfits lilac thing with a hat and a fascinator and all that sort of stuff. That was the best one I've done. Well, I don't know, I have had bigger profits, but I felt really good because I'd kind of found it all the same thing. But it was the worst thing because I hate packaging. I can't, if it's anything other than me taking a piece of item, shoving it into a poly bag and putting a label on it, that's great. But I had to create my own box out of pieces of cardboard, cut it all up. It was a nightmare. So that's probably like kind of my best and my worst one. There you go. Andrew, go.
What about you, Daddy Andrew?
Oh dear, I'm going to regret. Honestly, the see that comes out of my mouth sometimes. Worst flip is a frustration board game I picked up to sell at Christmas. I thought I was going to get about 15 quid for it, but never sold. I ended up selling it for a tenner. I worked out after fees and everything. I made about 50p profit on it. Still profit because I'll never sell anything for a loss. Best flip. It's not the most profit, but I picked up a model of a steam train sort of thing that cost me about £7.50 in a charity shop and turned out to be worth about a tenner. But I flipped it for 50 quid just because I wrote such a fantastic description about what a great thing this is and how it's going to improve somebody's life no end. And then priced it high and it went for 50 quid. So, you know, you can sell anything for any price if you put enough love and care into it, I think. And it's also not like, you know, thousands of them up for sale.
I think that's pretty solid. I would say mine, I think my worst flip was I bought a big box of vintage cameras, something that you have to be so careful with. There are some that are worth really good money, but there are a lot of them that are worth nothing, and they're really slow sellers. I bought a box of about 20 of them for $5 at a car boot when I was first starting, and I was like, this is such a deal. Like, I'm going to make so much money from this. This was about 2.5 years ago. I've still got a few of those cameras left, so that was definitely one of the worst ones. And I think my favorite was I sold 99 Reselling videos for, it was either 150 or 250. I'm not sure how much it was. I just like the story behind it because I had to ship them inconspicuously to some guy's shifty garage because he didn't want his wife knowing that he had spent like 250 quid on Reselling videos. And after that, this process went on for about 3 months. And by the end of it, he was sobbing his heart out to me over eBay messages that him and his wife were no longer together. And I was like, this because of the Reselling videos? Like, yeah, that was...
So let me get this right. You've broken up somebody's marriage.
Yeah, but I got 250 quid out of it, so I'm happy, I guess.
Just charge them for marriage counselling now.
Yeah, exactly.
Send them to me, Corey. I'll straighten them out.
That was my favourite.
There was something in one of your videos a long time back, Corey, back when I was starting off reselling, and it was like a basketball jersey, I think, a red one. And I think I actually messaged you all the way back then and said, look, you know, I look forward to see if it sells and whatever. Did you actually ever sell it?
I did sell it, yeah. I think. Oh no.
It was like a burgundy coloured one.
No, I've still got that, but I haven't lowered the price on it yet. That's why it hasn't sold. I've had a bunch of messages. A few people have offered me I think a few people have offered me like around 80 and 90, which I should have just accepted, to be honest, because I paid £1 for it. But yeah, I'll probably take one up again.
I'm exactly the same. I did the same thing. I buy something for like pennies and then put it up for something ridiculous, and I go, you know what? No. Oh, because the amount that they offer is really low in comparison, and I get sort of like, that's just being cheeky. I don't know. So
I hate lowball offers like that. It's worse on the vape store, because everything that we have is like super discounted in comparison to everyone else anyway. Like we'll have, for example, for like a 100ml bottle of vape juice, normally that's like, I don't know, 17, 16.99. We'll have them up for like 8.99, and then people will still offer us like £3. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm not, like, that's way less than what we pay for it. That's not going to happen.
it is just ridiculous. People will try.
Yeah.
I have, all of mine, 90% of my items are buy now and best offer. But I have all mine auto decline under a certain amount, because I can't be dealing with all these lowball. I have it quite low, you know, a decent margin. So if they do my lowest, then at least I can counter and stuff like that. But if they kind of just do a £40 item, say 20 quid, I'm like, whoa, no, you know, no.
Ridiculous. Also, Shiver Me Timbers Tat says, Andrew, do you need recharging? You look tired.
Dummy needs to plug the batteries in. I've been having a rough few weeks, to be honest. Self-esteem's on the floor at the minute. So, yeah, I'm not my usual self. Just tired of fighting all the time. Constant anxiety. It takes a lot, but
spam some love for Andrew in the chat, everyone. And whilst you're doing that, I really apologize, but I'm dying for the toilet. So I'll be 2 seconds.
You're not going to leave us, are you, Corey? That's just rude.
I'm going to go make a cup of tea like you did.
Ooh, that's a bit bright. There we go.
Right.
So
sorry, go on.
Go on. I was going to ask how many items you've listed today.
None. I'm on a listing break. I haven't listed anything for about a week.
You can't be on a sourcing ban and a listing break. I don't think it works like that.
It does for me.
Have you had any sales today?
Yes, I have sold a Playmobil set that's been listed for about 3 or 4 months. So yeah, send that through the offers for watchers. So that was I was happy to see that go. Might have had another sale as well. It reminds me I need to package them up and sort them out. Thank you, Bex. It's an ongoing thing, to be honest. You know, maybe in 20 years it'll be different. But yeah. What about you? How have you been doing? Any sales?
Sales, I've had one this morning, as I have a coat. But that's it. That's all I've had today. Somebody offered. This is what bugs me. I think somebody sent me an offer for something, and then sent me a message straight away saying, "Oh, will these fit me because of this?" And I'm like, "Well, why did you just bother sending me an offer? Message me first, see if they'll fit you, and then send me an offer afterwards." You know, it bothers me, that does. But hey ho.
I understood half the words there.
Is my accent getting too much for you?
No, it's. I was reading the chat. Thanks, guys. Stu is still trying to flog his fossilized wood. It's a bit like other parts of your body, really, and it's Stu fossilized. But boom. Right. Anyway, Corey, how's your sales been today, mate?
Dead. The one thing I've sold was that Lego figure that literally just sold for $8.99. That's all I've sold today.
Have you had any sales on Amazon yet?
Let me just double check.
Hey, Peter.
So far today, no sales, but 2 of my shipments have just been completed, actually, which is exciting. They've finished being processing, so new stock.
Have you had any
that? Sorry, Andrew.
Have you had any that have been processed and sales have come through yet, Corey, or you're still at the early stage yet?
Oh no, I've sold a few things on Amazon. Yeah, I've made quite a few sales since I've got started, but I haven't had any today. No. I've sent up about 5 boxes now, I think, and I've got almost 2 more boxes to send up, so which is quite exciting. Ideally, I want to be sending up like 5 to 7 boxes a month with like a decent, like at least £500 a box worth of inventory. I think that'd be nice. That's a nice level to aim for.
I think you'll smash it, Corey. Sooner or later, you'll be running these Amazon conferences. You'll be there lecturing all these future Amazon sellers to say, you know, what the secrets of being an Amazon millionaire are. I'll be there at the back, passing you with a bit of paper. It'll be awesome.
It'll be the next Reezy resells.
Yeah. So what are your plans for the future then, Corey?
My plans for the future is I don't actually want to be reselling forever. When I first started reselling, it was more of a means to get cash flow, to save up to then invest into something larger, a bigger business of sorts. Like I said, I don't want to be a reseller forever. And the reason why I started YouTube was because I wanted to document the journey from starting by selling a few things out of my bedroom all the way up until going into deeper business ventures, which are outside of reselling. But I always want reselling to be, it's a part of me, you know. It was how I got started, where I got started, and it was how everything came together, I guess, is probably the best way to put it. How about you?
My plan is, I don't know if I mentioned before, I have Asperger's or form of autism, so it's difficult for me to deal with people. And I'm quite a senior manager in work, and I'm getting to the stage now where it's becoming just a little too much for me to do and to handle. So my dream is to sort of eventually get a sort of redundancy package, invest that in building my reselling business further, and becoming a full-time reseller, basically. Then I might venture into other things as well. I might build on the YouTube and explore other avenues, so I have a diversified income. You know, eventually I sort of want to move into the property market and become like a slumlord. So yeah, those are sort of the long-term plans. But yeah, sort of all dependent on how things go work-wise, really. How about Louise?
I don't know. I don't really have any plans, to be honest. I'm going to put in another bad quote that I live each day as it comes, kind of thing. I always have. I've always kind of just done what I like doing at that time, and then just kind of see how it takes me. Obviously, I've got general plans, like want to get a house and all that sort of stuff, you know, but that's kind of like on the side, you know. It's not going to happen immediately, so kind of do what I like doing and see where it takes me. That's it.
If you have any questions about property, by the way, Andrew, just ask them to me on Insta, because I've got a lot of friends and family who are like deep in the property market. So
cool.
I can get.
It'll be a few years off, Corey, before I do that. Anyway, I've got to pay off my own mortgage yet.
My grandparents actually retired in their 20s when they got into the property market. Still going strong at it now, which is pretty wild. And
they've got a caravan. I want a caravan.
Which they're actually selling, ironically enough. They buy and sell houses, and they're currently selling their caravan.
Aid says you've just had a sale, apparently, Corey. Aid stalks everyone's eBay.
Not yet. I haven't heard anything come through yet.
Oh,
maybe on the vape store. I guess that's what he means. Probably on the vape store. I'm not logged into that one at the moment, so.
Yeah, well, you're not working now, are you? You can't be expected to be logged into that. Do you have that on your phone as well, do you, Corey? You have both stores accessed on your phone, or?
Yeah, I got both of them. I'll jump over to the vape one now and see what Aid bought. Peter Ray's Adventures.
Yeah, he says it's on the vape store. We're all waiting with bated breath now to see what Aid has purchased from you, Corey.
Oh, wrong password.
Spencer's killing me.
Just do a little bit of a theme tune in the background. Do-do-do, do-do-do.
Double-ended feminine dildo.
Good choice, Adam.
Knowing Aid, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he's bought.
Come on, internet.
Now to do more music.
Aid has bought a OBS Cube kit, 80 watts for £42.13. Thank you for the purchase, Aid. Means a lot.
If you want to send Aid's banking details across to me afterwards, Corey, that'd be cracking. Tat Doctor wants to know if your grandparents are gypsies and are selling their caravan.
Honestly, they live everywhere, so I guess you technically could call them gypsies. Like they more jump around country to country where the heat is, so they don't really have a house. So I guess you could call that gypsy. A gypsy with a lot of money.
Fair dues. Anyone in the chat got any more questions for me, Corey, or Louise? What drew you to reselling, Louise?
I hated my job.
Yeah, we've had that conversation last week, didn't we?
Yeah, but I think that's what we discussed last time. So if anyone really does want to know, it is in the chat from last week. But yeah, that was kind of what it was. I've always, I can't remember if I mentioned it, but I used to go out with my dad on a weekend, and we like to sort of go around charity shops and stuff. And then I started buying stuff for myself, and I then realised that I couldn't maintain buying stuff for myself. So I started reselling it. I started pretending that I was buying it for myself, but then selling it on. And then I did that while I was working. Then I quit my job.
What have you got in your hands?
Oh, it's just a broken peg. My peg broke, so I was just playing with it just on the side. Sorry. What about you, Andrew? What drew you to reselling?
50 grand worth of gambling debts.
But why do you think reselling was the way to sort it out?
I watched Nick's video on depression. Then I watched some of his others, and I thought, I can do this, and I was right.
That's nice. I like that. Mine was
some other YouTubers. There was some power reselling chap. I watched a lot of Laura Stubbs stuff, but that was for different reasons.
But yeah, the reason why I started reselling, me and a friend were having a conversation at college, and he was like, yeah, I read some article about some woman who sold like £15,000 worth of plush on eBay. And I was like, sounds interesting. Went home, listed a few things for my bedroom, used that money, reinvested it, just kept doing that basically, and got to the point that I'm at now.
So you were the one selling used underpants on eBay?
That was me, yeah. And they were my underpants too. They weren't outsourced.
We've done me, haven't we? Ian's got a question. Tat Doctor, what was the last thing you bought you knew nothing about and had to research? Let's go, Corey.
What did I buy that I knew nothing about and had to research? Everything. Everything I buy, I have to research it prior to, unless it's like Nerf guns, Lego, or Playmobil, or Sylvanian families. Yeah, I research the majority of the things that I buy prior to buying them, because I really, really try not to ever buy something without searching it on eBay first, ever. I would never do it for Amazon, so I'd never do it for eBay. If that answers the question. What about you?
How do you find that, though, when you're at the car boots and you're in a mad rush to beat Josh around it?
I just hold it in my hand. If I see something that I think is worth money...
Sorry, we're talking about stock here, Corey, not anything controversial.
Yeah, we are talking about stock, not AIDS double-ended female dildo or anything of the sorts. It's, yeah, I'll just pick something up if I think it's worth money, and I'll just stand there and search it. Like, I really don't... I have no shame when it comes to scanning things and searching things right in front of people. Like, I'll literally... I did it today at the charity shops when I was buying Amazon stuff. They had a few things on the counter, so whilst the woman was paying for the things, I was stood at the counter scanning things on Amazon, which was quite funny. But yeah, research everything. What about you, Andrew?
What was the question? Oh, last thing I bought about researching menopause pills. Yeah, I bought a load of menopause pills. They're starting to sell now, finally, but they've been I've been about 3 or 4 months of me sort of going, so these are worth 14 quid each, and nobody's buying them for 10 quid for two. So, yeah, they're selling now though. Yeah, that's good news. They got a long expiry date on them, but yeah, probably the menopause pills. There was no one else selling them. I bought them by the bucket load. I was first to market with them, and then a load of other people come on with the same product for a lot less money. So I've had to sit and be patient and wait for them to sell out before mine start going.
What about you, Louise?
I think it's a difficult one. I think, as Corey said earlier as well, I kind of research most things that are highly priced. I research because obviously it's a big risk, but a lot of the sort of RA stuff, so anything that I might find from TK Maxx that I thought I might resell or whatever, that's kind of something that I will definitely stand there for a good while and research, because obviously the stuff that you get in TK Maxx is sort of more £20-30 rather than sort of like your £5-10 that you might find in a charity shop. So it is the sort of higher price items that I do research.
How are you both with researching in front of people? Are you both comfortable with doing it, or
Sorry, doing what?
like researching
Doing what in front of people, Corey?
This isn't about AIDS dildo.
I'll do anything in front of people, Corey. I have no shame.
Say that again.
I have no shame. I'll do anything in front of people, Corey.
Fair enough.
We'll get a subscriber on YouTube. I'll do it.
What about you, Louise? How are you with like researching?
I don't like doing it.
You don't?
I don't know what it is. I think, like, if I'm in a charity shop, I'll go find a corner somewhere and I'll start to sort of stand there like this, looking at it. I don't know. I don't think some people in some charity shops, especially the bigger ones, they know what you're doing anyway. Oh, yeah. But I don't know. I just feel a bit awkward.
I really don't hide it. When I first got started, I hated researching things in front of people, and it happened so many times, especially at car boots, that I would walk away from the stall to research something, come back, and it would be in someone else's hands or someone else had bought it. And I think I just broke through the point. I just forced myself to research stuff, and now I'm at the point where I'll literally sit on the floor at a charity shop and pull out every single book on a shelf and just scan them and stack them up in a pile. I don't care if someone's watching me do it. I just have no shame in it at all anymore. I'm there to make money. I'm paying the same price that everyone else is paying. No shame. Like I just don't think about it at all, really. I just do it now.
No shame. I like that quote. That's me too, Corey. Stuff it. You only get one life at the end of the day. The only expression I live by is YOLO. YOLO, NOLO. You only get one life. What's that?
It's actually on my wall. And it says, "You want to live once, go ahead, live your adventure."
That book is bigger than you.
It's not a book, it's just a thing that goes on the wall. And then I got another one that says, "If you really want to catch your dreams, you have to chase them."
Deep.
Full of quotes, me.
I'd like to be a dream. I think I'd be quite good as a dream.
You are a dream, Andrew.
Thank you, Corey.
Anyway. James says, I used to get hammered on live videos for scanning items. It's such a, like, some people really don't like doing it and some people just don't care. Like, I think it's just a difference in people and a difference in confidence at the same time. Like, it was such a confidence thing for me. Like, I was so uncomfortable doing it to start with until I just forced myself to do it, and now I really just don't care.
Bex has got a question. She wants to know if we all do reselling full-time or if we have a daytime regular job. I, Bex, am a Master of Government. I run the country during the day, and by night I am tap man.
I like that. What about you, Louise?
Full-time. I was doing it part-time. Now I'm doing it full-time.
And I am a part-time reseller, but my full-time job is also selling on eBay. So got an interesting mix of people, I guess. Interesting day jobs.
People are now intrigued about my menopause pills. Fear not, I don't have the menopause. I'm just normally just moody. Question for Andrew: are you finding the menopause pills are starting to work for you? To be honest, Stu, you know, I'm starting to grow hair in places that that didn't used to be there. So, you know, I don't know if that's the pills or not. I'll just go for the chat. Yeah, don't think there's any more questions.
That was an interesting point there from Richard. It's probably best for one of you two. I've sometimes found the price goes up if the seller knows you've looked it up, especially at car boots. Has that ever happened to any of you two?
Nope, because I am discreet, as we know.
I'm not discreet, but I always ask how much it is before, and then when they tell me, that's when I decide if it's worth searching or not. If it sounds like it's too much money, I just won't even bother searching it. And then they can't really retract their price once they've already told you. So, and also sometimes if they see that you're going to be selling it, like if you make it that clear, and you're like, I can't do it for that price, they'll sometimes knock a bit off. Like it's a way to start a negotiation. Some people get funny about it. I've had a few times when people have been like, you're buying my things to sell for more. Like you can't do that, but I don't know. It happens. But also a lot of good.
Go on.
No, you go. That was what I was going to say.
I was going to ask if do you ever take a punt on anything?
Yeah, definitely. I've taken a lot of punts, and the majority of the time that I seem to take punts, they don't work out. That's why I've just really thrown myself into scanning and researching everything that I buy, unless I know what it is, because it seems like the majority of times that I take punts, the profit is just not there. So
the principle I work to when I'm sourcing, right, is that I will source enough items. Say I'm going on a car boot, I'll pick up enough items there that I'll make profit overall. So it doesn't matter if a few of the things are duds or whatever, because overall I'm going to make money regardless, and that serves me well, to be fair. And sometimes I picked up things I wouldn't have normally that made me a lot of money. So, you know, don't be afraid to take a punt, take a risk, I would say, you know, but
so you kind of pick
that risk by picking up things that you know will make you money and cover the cost of that risk, so to speak.
So you kind of pick up, like, say 10 items and you spent 100 quid in the day. Doesn't matter how much you spent on each item, you can just kind of say that you spent.
The overall profit that matters. It's not about the individual items. It's the secret of success in this business, right? I know a lot of people will sit there and agonize about making a profit or a loss on particular items. It's about, in any business, it's about the overall profit you make. It doesn't matter if you make a loss on a few items, as long as you make a profit on a lot of items.
Yeah. See, personally, I have a spreadsheet that I put everything into, and I do it because I can then get some sort of analytics from it, so I can now see then if what brands sell, what kind of sizes sell. Because I sell in a niche, I can now be really specific about kind of what it is, so I know what is selling and what isn't selling for what kind of profits.
But what sells today isn't necessarily what sells tomorrow anyway.
It is true, but it's just kind of, it's more of an eye opener to see if generally the stuff I'm selling, what kind of stuff is generally going to give me a higher profit margin.
Chris also says, have you ever been asked to leave a shop when doing research? That's not actually happened. The only times that a manager of a charity shop has came up to me whilst doing research is ended up in me being able to go out the back into the stuff that's not in the shop.
So he likes the back.
I do like the back. There's nothing better than a dirty back charity shop.
Never happens to me. I've never been asked to leave.
No,
never. Have you ever taken a punt in Ipswich, Corey? No, but I would love to go down to Ipswich to go sourcing.
What would you like to take a punt in there in Ipswich, Corey? What would be your big draw to go into that location, Corey?
Don't know. It's just friendly atmosphere, I guess.
Would you like to go sourcing with Laura?
I think that'd be quite fun. I think going sourcing with Laura would be quite fun. I want to go and see the shop. Like, I really want to go in and see the shop.
I will go and see Laura's shop if I ever go there, and she'll be like, I've no idea who you are. Carboot Chris is with us. I've got an apology for Carboot Chris. Cookie and the Haydens. Do give him a subscribe. I may have forgot to give Chris a shout out when I was announcing my top 5 YouTubers. I don't know why I did that, because I've been a long time subscriber to Chris, as we know, longer than either of the guys on this chat. So apologies for that, Chris. I hope you can forgive me for my mistake.
Peter's got a question. Have you ever had someone at a charity shop, car boot,
Hi Laura, by the way. Laura's watching you, Corey.
car boot, etc., know your YouTube channels and refuse to sell an item to you?
Say that again. I literally just did not hear. I was reading.
Yeah, Laura, and that was it. It totally went. Let's see if we can make Corey blush.
Have you ever had someone at a charity shop or car boot, etc., know you from YouTube and refuse to sell you an item? That's what Peter asked.
I haven't. I've never met anyone in person apart from Josh, Profit Junkie, who found me through YouTube.
Oh, did Josh stalk you?
That was how I met Josh. Yeah, Josh found me on YouTube and then saw that I live in the town next to him and then hit me up.
I have been recognised numerous occasions when out, but nobody's ever refused to sell me anything as a result of my newfound fame.
Yeah, never had. As same thing with Corey. I've never even met anybody who knows me other than from the meetups and stuff. So no one's ever bumped into me and said, "Oh, I know who you are." I don't think that's. Can't imagine that ever happening. To be fair.
Neither can I. I would like it to happen. I think it would be a nice feeling to meet someone who has just seen me through YouTube, but yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Speaking of YouTubers who are in the chat at the minute, we've got Peter from Peter Ray's Adventures. Do give him a sub. He's nearly at 1,000. Matt from Retro Reselling 82 has joined us. We've got the legendary and beautiful Laura Stubbs, who's got a YouTube channel as well. Click the 3 dots next to the names and go subscribe to them, people. Some great videos there for you to watch and catch up on. If you enjoy my content, you got Cookie and the Haydens as well, Carby Chris, we mentioned. If you enjoy my content, you'll enjoy theirs even more. So yeah, give them a subscribe.
We also now know that Andrew's so famous that there's a fan YouTube account of his.
Oh.
Yeah, someone has actually made a fan account of Daddy Andrew Nolan. Crazy.
There's also a Shrek is an Ogre Facebook account, which is clearly wrong as well. YouTube account, which is clearly wrong.
Clearly right, definitely.
Clearly wrong.
As Andrew has now admitted twice on live.
Louise clearly admitted earlier that Shrek is a troll.
No, it didn't. Definitely didn't.
You did.
James also says it will happen. I see several people every Saturday who watch. I can imagine it being really humbling. Like, I can imagine it being a really humbling feeling for someone to come up to you, but...
No, I just...
I had a couple of people in Bristol when I went there come up to me and said, "Oh, watch your videos." I felt obviously really sort of happy, and you feel sort of really humbled for it, but I also felt quite strange. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot to do that. It's a weird sort of feeling because you're just sort of used to just talking to a camera. You don't feel like anyone's watching in a weird way.
So it's quite strange. Give me abuse. That's mainly what seems to happen.
I always get exactly the same as you, Louise. Like when I was talking to Josh and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was watching this video of yours." And it's so weird to hear someone say that in person because you're always like, whenever you're making videos, you're so used to just being sat in your room on your own. And like, it's never like an outside of your own head type thing. Yeah. It's weird. Super weird.
My approach when I meet a friend, because I call my subscribers friends out in the wild, is to first ask if they're single, if they're attractive female, or B, to apologise because I'll never remember their names because they're not the first category.
Oh yeah, guess who hit me up earlier? Didn't hit me up, I messaged him. Gary V, baby.
Did Gary V reply to you, did he?
Yeah, that was pretty wild. I had like a two message conversation with him, and then he disappeared.
That's probably just one of his social media people. He doesn't.
I don't think it was.
Don't spoil
for you. He's got like 5 people managing his social media accounts.
No, that's Team Gary, isn't it? Different. Gary V does his own stuff, and then there's Team Gary.
And if you believe that, you'll also believe I'm the world's tallest man.
I believe both of those statements.
You'll be in for a shock when you meet him, to be fair, Corey.
He's actually a dwarf.
Yeah.
3'2".
Oh, Aid has got his daughter's YouTube channel as well. Aid, it's not reselling, is it, though, related? But if you click Aid's name, you will see his daughter's channel. She's about 7, I think. She'll be very happy if people are subscribed to it. I've got both of my accounts subscribed to her. Stu says, just in case he meets Andrew, when we meet Stu, he wants me to know he's not single or an attractive female, and his name is Stu. I've met Car Boot Chris and I've been to Car Boot Chris and Bargain Bell's house before. A nice curry, it was lovely, over in Stockport.
I think I'd be awful if I met another reseller YouTuber in person, because not like if I knew who they were well, I would be fine. But if I didn't really know who they were, I would feel bad for not knowing who they are, if you know what I mean. If someone came up to me and they're like, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah, my channel's this," I'd be like, "Yeah, I know exactly who you are."
Louise has met one of her YouTube inspirations. How was it for you, Louise, when you met Money Mental UK?
I don't think I met him. I met George Ross. I don't remember meeting Money Mental UK, to be fair, though.
What was meeting George Ross like?
Oh, it was brilliant. Yeah. really sort of friendly guy, good hair. What did you say, Corey?
The best reseller you've ever met.
Of course.
It's not for being drawn, is she?
As well.
Peter, so what do you mean I can't handle me drink, Peter? I had more to drink than anyone else that day. Did do what we got. Yeah, carry on. Carpet Chris is just complaining about me drinking all his wine. Don't invite an alcoholic round and expect him not to drink all your booze.
I just can't wait for you to eat the hot sauce, Andrew. You've got to use like a decent amount. I'll be very disappointed if you don't put like a good amount of hot sauce.
I'll use half a teaspoon.
Half a teaspoon's good. Half a teaspoon will light you up.
How about some of the onion? You'll be all right.
Not having no onions ever again. Sadists. One of my most watched videos with the entire reselling community is full of sadists.
How about when you hit 500 subscribers, you have to eat 500 onions, and in between each one, you have to admit that Shrek is an ogre?
No. Did that answer your question sufficiently? I am never eating onions again. That was a one-off occasion. I'm never entering a listing challenge with anyone who's, I'm not doing a chili challenge either. I'm not entering no more listing challenges. 1,000 subscribers should have a traditional approach then of just having a giveaway to get to 1,000, I think.
And those people asking, it's Carolina Reaper hot sauce and it's 1.4 million Scoville units. So
I don't know what that means, but I'm already terrified.
It's not that hot. 1.4 million isn't that hot.
On the Nando's scale, how hot is it?
Past the Nando's scale. The Nando's hot isn't that hot. To be fair though, the Nando's hot is not spicy at all.
Bear in mind, when I was eating my fajitas last night, I was nearly crying from the smoke.
Try a little bit on your... No, actually don't do that, because then you won't want it. Just don't go for it, okay? Just take like a small bite to start with and see how you find it. But don't put
to put it on. How do I actually use this stuff?
You just drop it on. You just drop the hot sauce on.
On what? On me chips?
Whatever you're eating. Yeah, it's nice with like Doritos. It's really nice with Doritos. I can tell in your mind you're like, oh, fuck's sake, why have I put myself into this? Why is this going to happen?
I am a very stupid man. I mean, I may be highly intelligent. It is true. I do have an off the charts IQ, but I am a very stupid man.
I'll quickly...
Harry is working on painting something at the minute, but we'll post the video to... Oh, you're talking about your flat. When is Andrew doing the hot sauce? Well, I don't even think Corey has sent it yet.
I haven't sent it yet. I'll get it sent up tomorrow.
I mean, you basically spend every day sending stuff, but you can't send this. I mean, what's going on?
Yeah. I was at the post office today, actually. Okay, so the hottest hot sauce, the extra hot Peri Peri Nando's sauce is 35,000 Scoville units.
Oh, you were joking me.
And the one that I use is 1.4 million.
You are joking me.
It's nice.
That
it's
extra
good.
hot Nando's one is too hot for me as it is.
It's mild. It doesn't taste like anything.
I can't, but 35, you've got to just wind me up now. You just made that up. 35,000 for one. I'm going to die. I'm going to die live on YouTube again for like the second time in a week. Laura's got a question for you. Louise, she's not talking to you, Corey, because you've embarrassed her. Do you want me to read out the question? Louise, do you ever go to the charity shops in Colchester by any chance? I weirdly recognise you.
I don't. Hang on. No, I don't think I've ever been down to Colchester. I'm looking on the map. I do drive a fair distance to go to different charity shops, but haven't made it all the way down to Colchester yet. So I must look like somebody else. I kind of have that kind of face.
I'm now going to go to Colchester because I want to meet this person who looks like you. Laura, me and you will go sourcing in Colchester. You can introduce us.
Don't do it, Laura.
Chelmsford. That's that'd be too far for you, Chelmsford, wouldn't it?
Probably.
That's where George lives, real George.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've been down south at all. I think I avoid going down south because it's expensive. everything kind of north of Birmingham is fairly decent priced, but everything south is just ridiculous. I went to London once and never again, which is ridiculous.
Aid is excited because I'm going to die.
And Lisa also says, sod that, even flaming hot Monster Munch makes me sweat.
I like the flaming hot Monster Munch. They're ace.
They're probably about 20.
Well, if you get a pic of it, send it to me. Give her a copy of my business card. I'll send the business card to you and pass it on to her, please.
Don't send it to Andrew.
That could be my future wife, Corey. An Essex girl.
If it is your future wife, then we all know how it started. We can make a sort of a wedding video for you. This is how it started, this chat.
Me looking desperate on YouTube again. Absolutely great start to the wedding video, that.
Laura lurking around a charity shop, videoing some random woman that's walking around.
Just to send me a picture.
Madness.
James says he's not one for the spice, but a little bit of chili powder in with his baked beans is lush.
I'm a massive spice fan. Like, I just love spicy food.
You're going to kill me.
I've got a few. Like, I could send you one that's a bit milder, but then it's not as interesting, if you know what I mean.
I've agreed to the 1.4 million decibel one, so we'll do that.
When you open it, it just screams.
Does it really? I have to do a live unboxing of this package from Corey.
You'll enjoy it. Who knows? You might have like a newfound love for it.
I like the way that Corey gets like sweets from Laura, who is an attractive female reseller. I get stuff from a man who's an attractive man, but still a man. The other reseller sent me something. Car Boot Chris sent me a cushion cover. So, it's just the men who send me stuff.
I sent you stuff. That's just rude.
I paid you for that.
You offered me something. You had a cheaper price for it.
Because it was defective.
You didn't know until I messaged you to tell you that it was.
I mean, what kind of person puts a defective shirt on eBay in the first place? Any idiot could have bought it.
Where's my Little Mix CD, Andrew? I'm still waiting.
I don't think it's your store that I'm subscribed to. It might be Josh who's got it.
Could be.
Get him to play it in the car next time you see him.
Send me your shop details later on Facebook and I'll check. But it might be that I've put a claim in with Royal Mail. I have proof of postage on it. I've been compensated for it. For not doing it, so
it will make you happy to note that little mix CD that had sold, by the way. I think $14.99.
$14.99.
Had the little signed picture with it as well, didn't it? So okay, it's bittersweet. Bittersweet is how I describe that. I hate Little Mix.
Been hotter the better. Let's kill him live on air. Aid is just another sadist. They just you'd have no one to talk to on a daily basis, Aid, to share daily dramas with. You know, you'd get bored, Aid, if I wasn't around.
Don't, whatever you do, let the hot sauce get in your eye. I'll say that. Otherwise, you probably would end up going to hospital or something.
Make sure you wash your hands before you go to the toilet.
I always wash my hands when I'm in the toilet. What kind of fake person do you think I am?
Before you go to the toilet.
Explain why I would need to do that.
You don't want to put
sauce on your hands, touching things.
What would I be touching?
This isn't a Andrew. Well, you haven't called Babe Station.
I should do an Andrew Open subscribers mystery box video. I'll tell you what, right? People would just send me onions. That's all I would get sent in the mystery box.
Onions and ogres.
Take care, Peter. Ian wants me to send me. My address is on my eBay story, and you can always find it on there. I know you follow my eBay store. People might actually, you're trying to get me viewers. People might actually like me. People like me. That's not the problem. They fall out with me. That's the problem. Carry on. Somebody said something interesting.
Some more questions then. What would you say are your guys, or what are 3 habits that you have that improve your productivity? That was a very spontaneous question, but what 3 habits would you say have an effect on your productivity in life and business?
Positive or negative?
Positive. Actually, just one. What's one?
Jesus, I can't even do that.
Do you want me to start?
Go on.
So I have a thing. I've done it for absolutely ages. I really used to have this insane tendency to procrastinate. And I would know that I was procrastinating because I'd be sat there doing nothing, thinking that I should be doing something, but I still wouldn't do it because I'd just sit there doing nothing until I kind of drilled into my brain. I like to call it 1, 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3 go method.
Drilled into your brain?
More or less, yeah. And as soon as I realize that I'm procrastinating and doing something unproductive, in my head, I'll literally just be like 1, 2, 3, go. And as soon as I say go, I have to stand up and do something productive. So I did it this morning. Like, I was being lazy. I was sat watching YouTube when I was supposed to be getting ready to go sourcing. 1, 2, 3, go. Just stood up, packed all my stuff, and walked straight out my door. Like, it is really useful, but it's a weird thing. Like, it's a very in my head thing. But
I actually watched somebody talk about that on a completely different YouTube video that I was watching earlier, and I think it's actually a thing. I think you sort of count to 5, and it's a sort of a mental thing that you sort of count to 5, and then you just get yourself to do it.
You're never going to learn anything by watching YouTube.
You can learn stuff.
Don't watch YouTube, people. It's pointless.
But yeah, what about you two then? What's one productivity tip or one thing that helps build your productivity?
I have natural drive anyway. I'm the most driven person I know. I really am. You know, I will keep going when other people have stopped a long time ago. So I don't really need something to boost my productivity. Sometimes I need something to slow me down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I wanted to go for something, I'll go for it. I'll smash it. It's
a good mindset to have. What about you, Louise?
I think for me, there's not something specific, but I think it's like organization. Like if it's a mess everywhere, I won't do it because I'll look at it and go, you know what, I've got no time to sort that out. You know, if it's already set up for me, then, you know, I'm completely motivated to do it.
I think a habit that I need to stop, a habit that I need to change is that I always do everything so frantically. Like absolutely everything I do, I try to do a million things at once. I'm trying to think of a good example of it. I don't know. Everything I do is frantic, basically. Like I do everything in a rush and I try to do everything all at once. and it's stressful. It's a lot more easier just to kind of chill as you do it. Like, for example, sometimes I'll be listing things on eBay whilst taking photographs to list on eBay. Like, I have the laptop on one side listing whilst I'm taking photos, which is, you don't need to do that.
That's very intense. James says that he has his radio on full blast and a cup of tea or a coffee if it's early. That's definitely another thing, you know, music. If I don't have music going, I'll get bored easy.
Anger as well. If I get angry, I will just go for stuff. So yeah, I'll turn that negative energy into a positive.
I think I'm the same. If you're ever in like a bad place mentally, one of my coping mechanisms is to work, which I think is unhealthy. I think it's unhealthy to do that, but it's productively unhealthy. So I don't have a problem with it.
Kind of what you do at the gym though, isn't it? If you're sort of into the gym, if you're sort of angry about something or whatever, you kind of channel that sort of built up energy and sort of go for a run or something like that. But obviously if you don't do that, then channel it into something else that's going to be more productive.
Yeah,
so, definitely.
It's a really good stress relief, the gym. Like, I like it. Andrew, have you joined the gym yet that you've been saying you're going to join for the last 2 weeks?
I'm thinking about doing it tomorrow, actually.
I'll keep you updated on that. Like, I'll check up on you tomorrow and make sure that you're actually going to get it done.
Yeah, it's definitely happening. It might wait until payday, but yeah, it's definitely happening in the next few days, because
for a few years.
have some faith. If I say I'm going to do something, I always do it. Ask aid.
Something that I've really got into recently is saunas. Absolutely love them. Absolutely.
Yes, I love a decent sauna.
You feel so
naked, sit in the sauna, and then watch people scream when they walk in. It's fantastic.
I don't go in butt naked, but it's such a weird feeling afterwards, because what I basically do this with Josh, Profit Junkie. We go to the
both naked together. That's like every girl's dream.
But we'll hit the sauna. We'll stay in there for about 20 minutes and then jump in the swimming pool, which is quite cold. Straight back out, straight back in the sauna, jump in the swimming pool, back in the sauna, jump in the swimming pool, basically to shock your body and really, like, I don't know, it's quite intense. Like, it's super intense, but you feel so good afterwards. It's insane. Like, it's a massive stress relief. Have any of you guys ever used a flotation tank before? Do you even know what they are?
Yes. I nearly drowned.
I really want to use one. I've not used one before.
No, honestly, it's horrible. I hated it. It's horrible.
I can't put my head in the water. I can't. I got a problem with my ears, so I can't put my head underwater or anything like that, or anywhere near water. Like,
you don't have to go under. You kind of like float on top of it.
Yeah, I think. But if any water goes in my ear, game over.
Does your head explode?
Pretty much. I have to kind of lie down.
I'm bringing a water pistol next time I see you.
Don't. Oh man.
Age says the best machine in the gym is the snack machine.
I like that.
I have got the man parts to take you on again, Aid. Quite clearly I've got those. But some of us, you know, I've got a life outside of eBay to lead, you know. I have many social events I need to go to and work. Now, I'm very in demand, so I wouldn't be able to commit the level of time I need to a listing challenge.
I'm looking into more like random questions and stuff like that.
Ian says, I used 3 machines at the gym, heart, air and chocolate. I used to have a gym wife, but I think we became more than man and wife, and therefore it had to stop, apparently. She had a partner who was a proper... Anyway, we won't go there. Moral boundaries.
Won't touch the touchy subject.
That one, never again.
Everyone that's watching live right now, who is still in the chat, massive thank you for sticking around for this long. Make sure you hit that like button. Kind of shares Andrew's channel around on YouTube and stuff like that, and it would do all of us a massive favor if you were to hit that like button. I'm actually going to like the stream myself right now.
I did it at
43 listings in that weekend, so I beat 40 listings.
There we go. And make sure you guys ask a few questions down in the chat below. I know a bunch of you have already asked questions. Sorry if we've missed any of them, but we never really come onto these things with topics. We just kind of have like a general idea.
We should do, but we just don't. No. Or we'll answer that topic within the first 5 minutes and then sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
Yeah, I asked them both to come up with some useful questions, and they were both equally useless.
I've asked some useful questions. What are you talking about, Willis?
I'm talking earlier in the week, not while we're live.
Been busy?
Corey, do you lick the lid of life? I drink the lid of life. That's how much I lick the lid of life.
Drink the lid?
I attempt to, yeah. I melt it down and then wait for that soup to cool down and then drink it.
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I. I've absolutely no idea.
I don't know what you just said. I don't know what Ian asked. I've just found out that I won the listings challenge and I ate an onion needlessly. So I'm very angry.
Maybe I need to do something in, you know.
Aid, you've got a forfeit coming. Stu says, slurp the milkshake of success. I can't do analogies unless I make them up myself. Okay, folks. It's 10:10. We've been broadcasting for over 2 hours. I think people have probably had enough of us by now, I'm sure. So I think it's time for us to give it to stop the live broadcast.
A sign off.
Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm Andrew from Money Mental UK. You've been fantastic. This is two people who can't speak.
I don't know which one. I didn't know who. I thought you were pointing to like a specific person. I'm Corey, aka Power Reselling on YouTube. Make sure you go over and check out my channel. Also, Corey.j.journey on Instagram. Yeah, that's me.
And yeah, I'm Louise from KLC Reselling. Also, KLC Reselling on Instagram. I don't change my names and stuff because, you know, make things easier for people. And I actually think I'm probably going to go live tomorrow or do some sort of video tomorrow just to show you how my garage and stuff is looking, if I can get an internet connection anyway, to let you know how it's all going on. It won't be very long, hopefully, because I've got stuff to do, but I'll be there.
Before we go, should we all give one short piece of advice? Starting with Louise, because you look the most concerned about that.
Don't stop doing what you love doing, and if it starts to become a chore, do something different.
Andrew?
Date Andrew.
Huh?
Date Andrew.
Yeah, solid piece of life advice. I guess mine would be to, kind of similar to Louise, do what makes you happy, even if it's unconventional, even if it earns you less money. The goal of life is to be happy. Do what makes you happy.
Spend time with your friends. That would be my advice.
Yeah.
Spend time with the people you love and care about, and enjoy their company. And date Andrew.
There we go. Do you want to sign us off then, Andrew? You are the chief. Daddy Andrew.
Thank you, folks. You've been watching Money Mental UK Mashup with KLC Reselling and Power Reselling. It's been good to see you. Peace out. Stay safe. Stay beautiful. Mwah.